Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquest. Today, we are finally unlocking the Tsunami. And the Tsunami, of course, is unlocked by Naval Fortress, the first extreme threat sector of the Eradication Difficulty campaign. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about this. But also, then again, Nuclear Production Complex was rated high? I don't think it deserves to be rated high, although I guess I can't really say that yet because I haven't gone to any extreme bases, but it was pretty difficult, all things considered. So, if Naval Fortress is about as difficult as Nuclear Production Complex, then I will be happy, and it won't be that bad. But of course, there's a couple things that I would like to do before we head there. The first one is to get this last piece of research that I completely forgot about. Spectre. We beat Nuclear Production Complex last episode, which means we unlocked the Spectre. This is a pretty decent turret. It's one of the largest ones, and I think usually you load it with either thorium or pyrite, and it looks like the, oh wow. Okay, maybe actually all of these ammo types are worth doing, because thorium does a lot of damage, has a lot of pierce, and doesn't use a whole lot of ammo, so that's kind of nice. Pyrite, of course, does area damage with direct damage, and applies burning with the same amount of pierce that thorium does. Graphite, you may see it has less damage, but it's got a 70% increase to fire rate. None of the other ammo types have that, so might end up using all three ammo types on these just to see how good they are. Other thing that I want to do, we may as well, let's just grab all of these logic researches, and that should be it for that. The only thing that we're now missing is the tier 5 units, the tier 5 constructor, the planetary accelerator thingy, and the overdrive dome, and the tsunami. Overdrive dome, I believe, yep, comes from Desolate Rift. Tsunami comes from Naval Fortress. Planetary Accelerator comes from the Planetary Launch Terminal, of course, and it looks like the Tier 5s are from Mycelial Bastion, which I don't think I can actually see yet. Never mind, it's right there, Extreme Enemy Base. Okay, well, we're not going to be doing that at this episode. That will be happening later. Now, one more thing I want to do before we launch the Naval Fortress. I'm going to head into testing grounds here, and I am going to set up a Plastanium factory, because Plastanium is one of the resources that I always have problems with, and I would like to no longer have problems with it. So, since there is a lot of titanium here, we've got some over here, we've got some over here that I think I'm just going to cut out from the core. I'm going to get this set up to make as much Plastanium as possible and ship it off somewhere else. Silicon is kind of a problem. We do have a landing pad, it's just not plugged in, so I guess if we just plug that in real quick and we select silicon and reroute, we should be getting some silicon imports, 600 a minute. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Okay, let's get to building. Added benefit, we can also use the new large drills. This is going to help a lot. Now, truth be told, I have no idea how much Plastanium that I'm making, so I'm just going to throw down 3 of these landing pads here. Grab some oil for them, of course. These are launch pads. These are not landing pads. You know what I mean. I'm just going to grab 3 of them, and that should be enough. Now, as you can see right here, this is a little janky. Yeah, this is just 10 of them, and none of it is overdrived, and that is a problem that we are going to solve right now by overdriving everything. And, would you look at this, we've got some thorium right here. And that is a full drill's worth. So how much is this going to make? 6.48, that is enough for 3 phase weavers. Now, I'm going to boost every single thing that touches this factory with overdrive projectors that are boosted. Okay, that should be, I think we were making 10 per second. Now this is going to be boosted to 125%. So we should be making like 20 something. And I just realized that each one of these launch pads can take up to, I believe it was 3.3. So I think we're going to need a couple more of these. Let's just do 5 for now. I think that'll be fine. These can't be boosted, at least from what I'm seeing. It looks like they are, but the launch cooldown is the exact same no matter what you do. So I don't think they can be actually boosted. And we are very negative on power at the moment. That is to be expected, but we do have a nice little trick up our sleeve here. Thermal within the range of the boost will yeah, significantly help this problem. Let's go ahead, head over to tar fields, make sure that we've got all the resources we need. It looks like we do. Let's go ahead and go to Naval Fortress. I don't have copper. How? Here we come. Wish me luck. I will definitely need it. And let's go ahead and get that pause going. All right, we've got 2 minutes to prepare, and it does look quite similar to the old Naval Fortress. I think there used to be a section that you could enter the enemy base from here on the last one. Unfortunately, I do not see that here, so it looks like this is going to be entirely naval. That does make sense. We are going to have to build a very, very thick defense along the waterfront because that is where the boats are going to be, so we need to be ready for that. So let's see here. Resource prospects are not looking particularly good. We've got a very large amount of copper. We've got a decent amount of titanium. Wow, actually very nice amount of coal. And that's about it. The thorium is located way far away, like over here. And I don't know why, but this feels like it's colored weird. I think it's because of these like sand tiles, but this looks more purple than it should be, which is kind of strange. Take a look at the base. The base actually does not look to be that bad. A couple tier 4 boats and this thing just collapses. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Yep, same over here. It's just ripple. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be that hard. Now the main problem is going to be in here. We've got a lot of scatter. We've got a lot of ripple. Again, I think boats are just going to solve that problem. And in here, it looks like we've got a graphite specter, which, to be fair, the range does go to about there. So if we set our boats over here, go through this massive turret field, we might be able to take that out. Of course, they do have a lot of swarmers around here as well. So it is going to be rather rough. So I think we go for Aegires and Sei. Obviously, the tier 4 boats, and I'm going to try to make both of them because I haven't used Sei yet, and I did see some comments saying that it was a pretty good idea, so that's what we're going to try. Also, getting the thorium over to our base is going to be quite difficult. I think the only realistic patches we can get are over here because we can run it along the water here. Now, I could set up some unit transport, and I'm tempted to do so, but I'm not going to know how to do it very well. I'm going to have to hard code the coordinates, and then a boat flies by and shoots down my mono, and then GG, it's over. I no longer have thorium, and then it's going to be a long day. So probably won't do that. But anyways, good resources, a lot of water, no spores, no oil. We do have thermal, but again, there's not a lot of places to build here. It's all right, but I think I'm going to have to settle with 5. All right, anyways, let's get to work. First things first, power, and that is going to be a very easy solve by just placing thermal. This is going to take forever to build because I don't have any building units yet, so we're just going to have to do this by hand for a little bit. And if I was smart about this, I would get some phase fabric because 0.15 per second, that's going to last a long time. And also, hold on, am I stupid or something? Yes, because I didn't place this in a very good spot. If I place an overdrive here, that's just going to solve all of our problems. We don't need the kickstart anymore, and then we turn that to anything, and that should boost just about everything. Looks like it isn't boosting this air factory, but you can't do everything, right? Actually, I think I can afford to do this here. Do something like this. Now, it is going to have a lot of phase sitting on the belt, which has got me a little worried, but we are going to increase our power from 3.8 to 5.3, so that's absolutely worth it, and I think I'm going to leave this differential burning for now because we're going to need that. Okay, let's see. We've got our polys now. They should be helping. Let's get our resources coming in. Copper and lead are done. Let's get some graphite. This is going to be very easy, and I'm actually going to come up here to do that, and then we can run that in like that. Graphite is done. Hopefully that is enough. Probably need to get some glass. I know we've got lead around here somewhere. That'll do. Not a whole lot, though. Not a whole lot. And also, that's got me a little worried. There's already 6 enemies, so let's go ahead and get some defenses up. Do still have surge ammo in one of our launch pads, so we can afford to use some for defense, and I'm actually going to. I really did place the factories in not the greatest of places, so let's just throw a couple of these here, maybe a couple of these here, and then we can also go ahead and throw up some pumps on these ones that are next to the water, and the other ones that aren't will just have to suffer for a little bit. We should be defended for at least a little bit, except for air. Air is going to be a problem, so let's solve that problem right now. Just protect our whole shore. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies coming in here. Yeah, let's just get our entire shore protected here. I'm not even going to think about it. Yep, and I knew it. There's some flares. Okay, so now we should be getting some surge here. Let's just grab some real quick, put it into this guy. That should hopefully take some of them out, and I am going to have to reroute some of this over to here, and then we need to grab a couple of... Actually, I'm just going to put one here. Get rid of those guys, and there we go. Okay, let's continue beefing up our shoreline here. So there we go. That is our shoreline protected, at least on this side. I'm just going to ignore this because that's the most defended. Let's go ahead and actually, while we're over here, let's grab a couple of impulse pumps, put them into liquid tanks, and get some landing pads. We are going to take surge here, redirect, Plastanium here and redirect, and then let's get those shipping into the core as soon as possible, because I know we're going to be needing a lot of them, so let's just get it now. 1,290 a minute on Plastanium is pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our units being produced already. Now you may be thinking, well, hang on, isn't that a little early for unit production? And yes, you're right, it is, but I think that's going to be fine, and I am actually going to seriously defend this place, because if anything gets over here and destroys the tier 4 factory, that is going to be a very long day, and it's not going to be fun for anybody. Now I'm taking a look at our core resources here, and it looks like we're not doing super hot, so probably want to start getting some other factories down here, but defenses are currently the priority. Okay, there we go. That should handle that. If this can't hold off this area here, I don't know what can. All right, so there's titanium solved. That's like 11 per second. That's not bad. Silicon is going to be the next thing that we're going to want. 40 enemies, by the way. What? Are they saving up for a big push? It looks like they are. Okay. And honestly, I think for Silicon, I'm not going to go with the crucibles here. I'm going to go with just normal, which may seem a little weird, but we can just spam this out. So I don't really think it's going to be worth getting a whole bunch of lead for this, considering that our only lead patches are at the core and in this corner. And we're probably going to be needing them for units anyway, so I'd rather use it for that. 8 silicon smelters? Yeah, that's going to be perfectly fine. Now, this is not going to be fine because I don't think this is going to work. So, we need 4.5 items per second to run a silicon smelter. So that is, one unloader can do 11. So this is 22. So 4.5, 9, 18. So if we just had 2 rows of these, this should do it. Okay. And yes, I know this is considered heresy, but I think routers actually do work on Plastanium conveyors. Yeah, they do. I don't know about a full belt, but it does work without a full belt. And then we just put some overflows on there, and that looks to be a good amount of silicon. That should be 12 per second, not terrible. And of course, if we do need more, we can always grab some from the launch pads or the landing pads because we do have silicon exports somewhere. I think that's good. Let's get the actual... Oh, hold on. Okay, we got some boats. We good? We good. Let's go ahead and grab in our constructors now. I'm going to put the tier 4 one out here first because this is the one that needs to go on the water. This is going to be absorbently expensive, but that's okay. Titanium is the problem. Not a surprise at all. Let's just fix that. And now we're getting, oh my god, 27 titanium? Yeah, that's probably enough. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's do Retusa first, because that one is easier. This should supply all of the titanium. Next up is silicon. How much power we got? 3,500. Okay, silicon. We need graphite, glass, and plastanium, and cryofluid. Oof. Cryofluid, oh dear. Okay, I've kind of used all of the titanium for this. May have to unload that. Actually, we can probably unload it from this spell. We don't need a whole lot of it. Yeah, just 2.5. That should be doable. Yeah, that should be doable. That's not a problem. All right, glass goes in there. We will also need to put glass in here when we are making Rizo, but I will just kind of do that for now. And also overflow this so the titanium doesn't get stuck. There we go. And now we'll have glass. So now the only thing we need is silicon is still not getting into here. Okay, there we go. Now we need graphite. We can unload that. We're still doing good on defense. I haven't even been paying attention, honestly. And as for the plastanium, that's going to go into an underflow. Now we've got everything. Okay, boom. All the plastanium is currently going into here. We just need cryo. Right. Yeah, okay, hold on. There we go, and that should be making our cryo fluid. Hooray! Grab this, run a pipe over here, and into a tank you go. Boom. Okay. We are now making tier 4s. Beautiful stuff. Now we can also increase the speed of production by doing this. And maybe plugging it in. There we go. 50% increase to speed. Now that does mean 50% increase to resource cost. Unfortunately, I am probably not going to increase our resources because I think we're going to be fine. 90 whole enemies, and we do have some Zenith, and they are incoming, and they look to be attacking from the weakest side, so let's just go ahead and fix that. Okay, looks like they are also trying to go for this way, which means we do need to get some more turrets over here. Yep, if this side falls, it's going to be a very long day. Oh, we got some Oxyno here. They do have segment, but that doesn't really matter. Now we have our first Aegires. All right, I think I'm going to make... Actually, let's switch this now. That will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we can get 4, and we do 4 and 4, and that should be enough because we send these guys in first. They can act as the shield, and then we'll send the Sei behind them, and they can act as the DPS. And that should be able to take everything out. Unfortunately, it looks like they are spawning in Mega, which is bad because they're just going to go try to fix everything. Yeah, that's not going to be fun to play with. I think we should be able to take a core out and then maybe build something over there, and they should stop trying, I hope. That's the plan at least, but we'll see how that ends up. We may also want to get these Aegires out and defending, I guess, because yeah, actually, let's have them go here. You can go here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and throw up a couple of repair turrets. And you can actually boost these. I did not know that. Wait a minute. 1.64 times strength by boosting these. And they take a whopping 9.6 water, which is basically nothing. Huge. How's our power looking? Yikes. Not good. Okay, now, here's the thing about that. We have got an overdrive projector here. We've got ample cryo fluid, or titanium to make some more, and it's going into the core. Plus, we've got 6,400 of this stuff available, so I think it is time to put down an impact reactor. Now, I'm going to try to shove it in a corner somewhere. Maybe over here, actually. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do it here. Uh-oh, how's power doing? Oh, we are very negative right now. Okay, unplug that, unplug that. Ay, ay, ay. Spin back up, spin back up. Okay, we need to get some batteries, or else we're gonna brick the system. We are actually negative on power right now. This is not good. Make sure that we are putting thorium into these guys, even though I guess technically phase is more efficient, but I don't really want to eat all of the phase fabric that I'm not producing, so let's maybe not do that. Well, you know, we don't really need to do a whole lot of this. This is going to last a very long time anyway, so let's just do that. There we go. Dump, dump, dump. In you go, in you go. Thorium for everybody. We're now making 2,600. We will let that spin up, and then in the meantime we can get this thing going, which we probably will need more water now. And now this starts spinning up. There we go. We should be good on power. We can leave these here just in case we need them. Wow, they are still burning. That's crazy work. There we go. We should be spinning up on power now, 11,000. We should be perfectly fine. And now that we actually do have the power for this, force field, that makes me feel a little better. And there we go. I'm going to wait until we have, I think, actually just 2 Sei. And actually, I haven't even used these yet. Let's go take a look at what they can do. Turn speed is horrendous. They do have a good range, though. I'm pretty happy with these. All right, sweet. So we'll send in the Aegires first, and then these guys can go behind because these guys do have a larger range. And then the Aegires can basically segment all of the bullets out of the air and heal up themselves while the Sei do most of the damage from afar. So let's go ahead and get them going, right? And I guess we just keep sending them up. There we go. Planning out a nice little path for them. Yep, and I knew they'd all start swarming over here the second I damaged something, which is why I brought so many. Yep, and this is what I was worried about. Yeah, I think we're going to be alright, but there's just a lot of units here. How are we doing? We might need to back up. Yeah, let's back up. Let's get out of range of their turrets at least, and just keep destroying their units, though. Yeah, the megas are just going to spam rebuild, and so are the polys, but if we keep just, like, inching closer and closer here, we should just be able to start zapping them out of the air, and then we should be fine. I knew this would happen, and this is going to be a real problem in some of the future bases, because they're just going to start stacking up units. So we're going to have to see how this turns out, but man, there's just so many of them. Actually, can we get these guys to start shooting these guys out of the air? Yeah. We just need to start destroying things. Let's actually get these guys a little closer so they can keep doing some damage here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And also, actually, if we can get that core down, it's going to blow up and kill everything. Perfect. Okay, let's get them in there and just keep destroying. I'm actually going to take control of this one, and I'm going to build some walls. Now they will not try to come back over here because it is just full of garbage. Okay, let's wait for our additional reinforcements to come in, and then we can head over to this base over here. I have destroyed all of the healing units, which is fantastic news. Okay, let's head over to this base over here. I think we can probably just shove our face into this little wall here and just take this out. Yep. Like it's nothing. Take control of this guy. So that should be now protected. They should not try to come over here and fix it. So let's just go ahead and get out of here. And that is the second core. And I think that just means it's the main one now. Boom, 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 boom. Slowly make our way over here. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Ooh, that is oil. Uh-oh. Are we going to be okay? Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Ooh, cryo too? Oh, God. We might not be fine. No, we're going to be just fine. Alright, everyone. Do it. Sector captured. Boom, boom, boom. That was pretty easy, actually. Definitely way easier than Nuclear Production Complex. I can say that right now. Also, a couple things to note. First of all, we unlocked 2 new sectors, Sunken Pier and Weathered Channels. These are 2 new ones, and I also did not read the Naval Fortress lore. Naval Fortress. The enemy has established a base on a remote, naturally fortified island. Destroy this outpost, acquire their advanced naval craft technology, and research it. That would be the Tsunami. Absolutely, thank you very much. That is going to be particularly useful for applying debuffs in frontline defenses. There we go, Naval Fortress done. Looks like we do have weather channels and sunken pier, both extreme waves threat sectors, which is kind of interesting. I do not think we will be doing those today. I do want to go over and clean up Tainted Woods, mostly because this has been sitting here since I beat Infested Canyons, which was like episode 4. Or something. So let's just go ahead and clean that up. Probably going to be a pushover, at least in this stage of the game, but maybe there's some nice resources that we can acquire from there. Let's go find out, shall we? Okay, I like this sector already. Let's take a look. We have got, wow, this is a absolute mess of a sector. Most interesting. So we do have lead, coal, copper, titanium, oil, black sand, plenty of spores to go around. We've got water. Wow, there's a lot of oil here. Holy. Okay. Yeah, this is... Bruh! Holy, dude! Yeah, okay, huge. There's a huge amount of stuff here. I am really liking this. Now, there's no thorium, there's no thermal, but like, who cares, right? We've got so much stuff here. This is great. Now, of course, since there is no titanium, it's not going to be scoring very high, and also the terrain is absolutely horrendous. This is like the worst you can probably get. No open space at all, and it's even like walled off, so you have to use bridges and things to get over there. Yeah, not a particularly great sector in terms of building space, but resources, oh yeah, this is great. So I think I'm going to have to give this 7. Now, is there anything that I actually need to be producing here? I don't know. This would probably be a good, oh, I don't know. It'd be a good plastanium, but there isn't a lot of titanium to go around, so maybe not. Although, this would be a really nice silicon sector. Actually, yeah, no, that would be huge. This would be a great silicon sector. You can make so much coal out of all of this oil, and we've got so much sand to go around, and lead as well. We've got plenty of patches of that. Plenty of options. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and fly down to the drop zone first, though. Right here. Okay, we can literally just wall this off. Wow, seriously? This is the chokehold? I think I'm going to try pyrite as ammo. Yeah, I'm not going to do surge this time, mostly because we have oil and tsunami, and I'd like to try that. I mean, yeah, we could really put our defenses anywhere. I mean, like, there's only one way to go, and it's this way. So we could just put something here. And then the only thing we'd actually have to worry about is air, but like, whatever, man. We can just put a couple turrets right here, and then that's problem solved. So let's do that. And you know what? Let's do specters this time. Tsunami here, and then we put our specters here, and we get ammo from the top, and then we grab some oil from here. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, okay. And then we are going to have to make a pretty massive pyrite factory if we want to actually ammo these, because these things take a lot of ammo. And probably even just putting down a vault up here, a couple unloaders, and even a couple phase conveyors, yeah. Now, which way are they going to go, and how many of them are there? I'm sorry. Oh, that's nasty. I like it, but that's nasty. Okay. Not great, especially considering the oil. And there's... Oh, God. Okay, we're going to have to get a bunch of wave over here. I can definitely get away with this. Okay, hold on. We can get a tsunami over here to deal with the fires. And actually, let's put it over here. Also, because I do want to cool the turrets, so maybe I do this. Now I just need to plug this all in, of course, which does mean we need to make some power. You know what? Hold on. I want to try something. It's been a while since I've done this. Actually, it's been since Tarfield since I've done this. Now, in theory, if I just tile this, that should be a oil to coal to power schematic. And now we've got some power. 4,700 to be exact. Solid. Okay, also, hold on. Boost everything, and now we're at 9,000. Okay, so there's our power done. Let's grab a surge tower here. Yeah, we can just honestly surge tower from the poly factory. That's fine. And plug that in like that. There we go. Now we do need to get a mender in here, because this is bad. Core's under attack. Why? Oh, God. Oh, no. I don't know what... I bet it was a flare. I bet a flare flew over here with a bunch of spores and just lit it on fire. Okay, hold on. I know how to fix this. Okay, there we go. Now that should put it out. Oh, God. Is that seriously not enough? I mean, I knew core fires were brutal, but I didn't know they were this bad. It's because I have so much flammable material. Did we get it? Oh, you got it. Okay. Ay, dude. Okay, so let's prevent that from ever happening again. Oh, and great terrible news. We are officially 100% out of silicon. So let's go find some oil and make some more. We can't even build a pump. Yikes. I bet I can't build launch pads or landing pads either. I can build a landing pad. Oh, phew. Okay, good. Silicon. There we go. That should fix that problem. Uh-oh. Nope, nope. Okay, luckily we had a bunch of tsunamis, so that wasn't a problem, but I'm just going to deconstruct all of the unloaders so we can actually have silicon back in the core. We can build things now, one of which is going to be a Spectre, which I'm going to unload some Pyrite, and maybe just another one. Oh, they've busted through the wall. Okay, yep, we need to get ammo over here. Spent too long trying to protect my core from lighting on fire that I forgot about the defenses. That's sounds pretty typical. Looks like I am back. There we go. Now we've got an oil tsunami. We've got some specters with some decent range here. Let's just throw ahead and go in a overdrive dome. I know what I'm talking about. That also hits the mender, which is great. I'm going to put another one right here. There we go. And that should be that side defense secured. As for this side, I bet they have decided to... Actually, they didn't even think about going this way, which is weird, but I will take it. And let's put some copper walls up just to deter them from thinking about it in the future. Would use other things, but I'm lacking the resources. Okay, so that should be our defense pretty secured. Let's just go ahead and watch this wave here, make sure it actually is. Right, and they can walk over walls. I didn't think of that. Well, we do have ammo over here, so you know what? There we go. Okay, now we've got another one over here that can help. Okay, so we are fighting fire with fire currently, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Okay, anyways, we are lacking on titanium here, so let's go ahead and grab some more of that if I can actually afford to build a drill for it. Okay, and it does look like the flares have decided to go a different direction, so we need to come over here. They're going for the power, aren't they? Oh my god, this is... Oh, great, great. Yep, that is instantly burning. Please build this. Thank you. And there it goes. Alright. It's my own fault, really. It didn't defend every single possible location. Alright, rebuild. I hope I have enough resources for this. Yeah, we've got some more. Okay, I did put up a couple specters here. So they should be able to take them out before they get over. Yes, they do. Perfect. Now they're angled as well to shoot them. Okay, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so now we've got some A-tracks that walked over the wall down south here. I think I'm going to have to get some more over here. That does kind of check out. They should get destroyed by the Spectre here. Looks like they did. Okay, we're going to be fine. That's good. Also, graphite is going well. We actually have some now. Would you look at that? Albeit rather slowly. There we go. That should be plenty of graphite. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get some more turrets probably down here. And also, it is a perpetual spore storm in this sector, which is why I'm moving so slowly. Let's go ahead and grab some of this oil here, get a couple specters over here. Probably wait for this wave to pass first, and then we should be fine. 50 enemies, dude. Holy. Oh, there's so many flares. Holy dude. Yeah, let's get some of these guys on to repair. Now that we've got this Spectre here, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I probably should go build some Pyrite and put it into the core. Actually, yeah, let's go do that. 56 enemies, by the way. Ridiculous. So many flares. I'm going to have to put another turret up here. Because now they're going this way. There we go. Okay, another one there. That should be enough. Let's go ahead and grab some more Pyrite. Right, yeah, unloaders are extremely expensive on titanium. I keep forgetting that. This still isn't enough somehow. Alright, we're up to 64 enemies now. Like, flares are going north this time. We are still maintaining enough damage to destroy them before they get to us, which is great. And there we have a nice amount of Pyrite being supplied. I probably do not have enough sand or lead or something, but it's enough for now. Alright, and I think we are pretty much good to go. It is now just a waiting game, so why don't we go ahead and skip through some waves and watch a bunch of firebombing occur. Alright, and as you can see right there, it looks like we've got a couple of Archaeid coming in as a Guardian, and I'm guaranteed they're going to be pulling a bunch of spores, so whatever they do, they're going to light something on fire. So I think I'm going to go ahead and prepare for this. Now, the thing that I'm going to do to prepare for this may be a little unorthodox, but that is going to be dumping a bunch of foreshadows down. I'm not going to mess around here. I'm just going to get 3 of these things in here. They're going to be on these liquid tanks, so they have ample supply of water. And we're basically just going to snipe them down. Because, yeah, there is no way I'm losing this. I do not want to have to deal with a burning sector anymore. Let's just get this done. And while we let those get filled full of ammo, I think I'm also going to go ahead and throw down one more Spectre right here, because that is the way that these guys have been wanting to go this whole time. So if we get another one down here, hopefully I've got enough surge. I do. Get another one going here, we can get some additional damage going. Now this Tsunami should shoot them, and it should get them to debuff. Hopefully that fire does actually work. Let's see. Yeah, we've got 2 of them. They are dying pretty quickly. Okay, actually we might just make this. I don't think they're going to die to these guys, which is fine. So let's get the polys out of there before they all end up dead. I kind of expected this, which is why I've got the foreshadow here. I just hope it's enough. Oh god. Yeah, overdrive. Yep, let's do that. Yep, and let's also grab some phase fabric and put that in there. Okay, sector captured. That was a little closer than I would have liked. I did kind of see that coming, but that was too close for comfort. Okay, honestly, I really like this sector. It's a really cool idea that you have units carrying things, and I guarantee you they're probably going to have units carrying blast compound or spores or coal or pyrite or something in some future sectors, so we're going to have to watch out for that. But of course we will get there when we get there. I also do not think I read the research for this again. Tainted Woods. Rich in oil reserve, this sector contains large masses of fungal growth, making it difficult to traverse. Utilize its resources to produce Plastanium, fend off the enemy. That is exactly what I thought as well, except there's like no titanium here, so I don't know how you would even do that. Or maybe there is a whole bunch and I'm just missing it. I mean, we've got a decent amount here, but that's just like still not very much, you know? But with all that out of the way, I think that is going to be it for this episode. Back to 2 sectors per episode as opposed to the single one last time for Nuclear Production Complex. Next time, I'm thinking maybe we go Desolate Rift. Maybe we go Atolls. Maybe we go, let's not do Mycelial Bastion. I've heard horror stories from that one, so maybe we hold out a little bit. Actually, yeah, maybe Atolls and Desolate Rift, because we've got an enemy base and we've got a waves. Desolate Rift I've always liked. This is always a cool sector. It's like in one big line and there's a whole bunch of resources to go around, so this is always a pretty fun one. And Atolls, it's either new or I don't remember it, so that should be pretty cool. Stay tuned next time for the first extreme waves threat sector at Desolate Rift. Goodbye.